guys, Sean C. Phillips here with a brand new DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Taking a go out today, see what things came out, see what things are on sale today. Now today, new release-wise, I know there's not a whole ton of new things that I believe will be in stores. One of the bigger titles that is coming out though is the film Body Cam, and that is one I know should be in stores as far as I know. Other than that though, I know there's a handful of other things coming out, but not a whole ton of things. But there is one thing in Walmart though that I want to try and find. I've seen people posting some videos of it online and like other, shopping videos, and I've seen people putting pictures of it on Instagram, and I believe it might be a Walmart exclusive release or one that you can only get in Walmart. So definitely one thing that I want to try and find. Also though, at the end of this video is going to be a whole bunch of brand new DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K reviews. So a whole ton of new stuff I got sent to review and talk about for you guys. So definitely stay tuned for those at the end of this video. And as always too, leave me comments below, letting me know what you guys thought of the DVDs, Blu-rays, and 4Ks that I reviewed. If you've seen them, what you guys thought of them. Also, if you guys plan on picking any of them up. But anyway, guys, let's get going and see what we can find today. Into Walmart we go. Yeah, so taking a look in here though, new release-wise, like right here in the front, I'm not seeing anything new here. Like it's all the same stuff from last Tuesday, like Trolls World Tour, and then Evil Season 1, I believe was last Tuesday. Over here, I don't see anything else different here as well. I'm definitely going to head to the other Walmart that I go to as well, but there's one thing in here that I really wanted to try and find that a lot of people have been telling me that's like a Walmart exclusive, or they're seeing it in Walmart. I also wanted to show as well, these ones were all locked up, and then in the weeks past though, like the ones over here, like the TV shows, these ones were not locked up and stuff like that, so now these ones are locked as well. But the only stuff that isn't locked is all this stuff here in the center. But I was looking here in this area, and it looks like, I think some things are in the wrong spots, but it looks like they're putting a lot of the new releases like right here, some of the stuff. Like, I saw one of the ones that came out today, Clueless, the brand new 25th Anniversary Blu-ray Edition, which includes the digital copy of the film. It's in a cool new slipcover one. But the spot though, it says Spider-Man, so I think it's in the wrong place. But so I don't know for sure the exact price on this one. One of the other ones I know that was today was this one called Enter the Fat Dragon. But see, this one is in the wrong spot as well. So that's very strange. And one of the ones that did come out today, which I really liked a lot, was called Body Cam with Mary J. Blige and Nat Wolff. I would definitely recommend you guys check this one out. This one was really, really, pretty creepy horror movie about like, this like a cop who ended up having something happen to him, and he was like thrown. He went for like a traffic stop for this woman that he followed into like this weird area, like this industrial area that he was following. And then when he goes up to the car, something like makes him fly and fling into the sky, and he like gets killed, and all this crazy stuff happens. And Mary J. Blige's character, she actually sees the footage, and right after she sees it though, it gets erased and no one else can see it. So she saw something, paranormal had happened, and it's basically her trying to figure out what it was, and all these weird things are going on, and she's trying to figure out the person that was, the cop was pulling over. But absolutely love this movie, would highly recommend you guys check that one out. But I was saying though, the one thing in here that a lot of you guys have been telling me about was the Girls Just Want to Have Fun. They have a Blu-ray edition here of this, which I believe is exclusive to Walmart's, because I don't know if this one has ever been to Blu-ray before. As far as I know, unless it came out a long time ago and I totally forgot about it. But this has it's a really cool VHS slipcover one here. And they also have, and this one here is $7.50 for that one. It's always hard to put these ones back. So it's very hard. You have to. Everyone always says, "Oh, you're rough when you put them back," but so you have to really push carefully, and sometimes these things stick real weird. They also have the Roxanne VHS slipcover one. This one came out like a year or so back. That one's $7.50, and they as well as the Silent Rage slipcover edition one. And I did see one other interesting thing here, and I think I showed this a long time ago. But this is an amazing price for $5 for this 10-movie collection, which has like stuff like Cloak and Dagger, The Wizard, Cop and a Half, King Ralph, Matinee, Sergeant Bilko, Ed, Simple Wish, The Borrowers. So some really cool stuff in this one for only $5. But other than that though, I noticed now too, some of the big boxes of shows, they're putting these things on them more now too, these like spindle things, which they used to use some, but it seems like they're putting them on more things. Other than that though, I don't see anything else different here. It doesn't look like there's any other new releases mixed in here, I don't think. Like this one, Jurassic Galaxy, I don't know, I think this came out a long time ago, but I think it was just put into this section here. I don't remember seeing it in the past, this one's 6 Below, which I think I've seen before. But it's kind of funny though how, like I said, they mixed in some of the new releases in there, because I don't see anything else new put into these cases or anything. As far as I can tell though, it's all the stuff from last week that they switched out in this section here. And I showed too last week that they have a bunch of you know, Shout Factory titles in here, and Scream Factory ones like Escape from New York. One of the ones I forgot to show was Harry Met Sally. They have that one as well for $12.99. They still have this Someone to Watch Over Me one that's, the case is all crinked up and everything. Yeah, so, but yeah, they have a whole bunch of ones in here. Brewster's Millions, Firestarter down there, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, Roadhouse, Starman. So really cool to see those ones in here, but I'm definitely going to get the, like I was saying, the, I put it back here, the one I was grabbing, the, because I checked all the slip covers, but I'm definitely going to get this Girls Just Want to Have Fun, you know, slipcover edition here. Yeah, so in there, like I was saying, I did end up getting the Girls Just Want to Have Fun slipcover edition in there. Like I was saying too, it's really weird how the new releases were like in that weird spot with all like the wrong prices and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what was going on with all that. It seemed like maybe it was like they didn't want to open up that case, you know what I mean, like the case system or something like that. So like, oh, we'll just put them here. Like I said though, because of that, all the prices were wrong. So it's like, who knows what any of those things were or anything like that. But I am going to go to the other Walmart though to check too, to see if they have anything else, because like I said, all the stuff was in that weird section and not in the right things. There might have been some other things they would have gotten in today as well, but like I said, really glad to really glad though to have found this one in there though. Into the second Walmart we go. Yeah, but in here today though, they don't have though some of the stuff that I saw in the other one. They don't have body cam, and I don't see the Enter the Fat Dragon one. I do see like the spot for it though. And they also don't have the Clueless one. So Clueless was only $14.96. Enter the Fat Dragon was $14.96. And then I don't see a spot though for the body cam one. Now I don't know where that one would be. I did see though one other thing though, which I think this came out I think this came out today, I believe. Unless this was last Tuesday. I don't remember seeing this last week though at Walmart. This one, Swing of Things. This movie with Luke Wilson. This is one I don't know anything about. If any of you guys have watched this one though, let me know if this one is worth checking out or not. But I did also see though in this section, I did see something else new that I didn't remember seeing in the past couple weeks. I think the only thing new that I noticed was this one movie here called Awoken. So I have to read about this one. If I'm gonna get this one or not. I don't know much about this one, but I'm pretty sure that this one was today. But other than that though, in here though, I'm not seeing anything else different in here. Like I said, I didn't see body cam anywhere down there. And sometimes they can be mixed in weird spots. I don't know if this one was today as well, this Stuck With, I think this was actually a week or so back, I believe. Yeah, so I decided not to get that Awoken movie. I read that one and the reviews seemed kind of not the greatest on that one. But if any of you guys did see that though, let me know if it's like worth, you know, checking out or not. Maybe I'll get it next week. But I think I'm gonna head though, because nearby here is Barnes and Noble. And I want to try and see if they have one thing in there, because right now the Barnes and Noble has the 50% off Criterion sale going on. And see, I'm also wondering too, because in California, a whole bunch of stuff is going to be closing again tonight at midnight, like the malls, certain business, you know, certain office businesses, as well as you know, all with restaurants where you can only now do takeout and, you know, pickup orders. You can't, or, you know, your curbside orders. You can't sit down inside anymore, because about a month or so back they let you sit back inside again, and then they just did that. So I'm just wondering if maybe like Barnes and Noble might not be open again to go inside after this, because, you know, it's always changing like that, so you never really know. So I figured I might as well go now, see if they have the one thing there I want to try and find. So I'm gonna head over to Barnes and Noble. Into Barnes and Noble we go. Yeah, so I'm already back in the car. I didn't end up, you know, filming anything in there. There were like these two guys that were in the section. Like the one guy was there, like going back and forth, like kind of crazy in the Criterion section. And then this other guy came in, and they were both doing it. I don't even think they knew each other. But the one thing that I wanted to try and find, I looked online first. and I looked on like locations that had it, and it was the Spike Lee movie Bamboozled, but you know, they didn't have it in there anywhere. And I looked at, there's a couple other spots where they put Criterion, like against the wall sometimes. I looked there, they didn't have it, or you know, in the actual section they didn't have it, unless like maybe like that one guy had it or something, or he put it somewhere, or you know, like who knows. my luck, that was probably what happened. I'm guessing, but yeah, so I didn't end up getting anything in there. But if any of you guys do go for the Criterion sale, let me know in the comments below, though, what, you know, what stuff you ended up finding or what you ended up picking up for it. I know that some decent deals, like I feel like the Bruce Lee collection, which I did see in there, that would be one if you guys were looking for. I feel like that'd be a really good deal for that one being half off. I don't know what it retails for, but I'm sure it would be take off quite a, you know, a lot if it was half off of it. Like I said, I don't know for sure the price, but that would be definitely one to pick up. And I did see one of them behind the counter, so I guess like people didn't notice that, because I feel like that would be one of the ones that would go first, like the big sets like that. But now probably just going to head over to Best Buy. Into Best Buy we go. But in here though, I'm definitely not expecting to really see much out. You know, because they change things out little by little, and there's a lot of weeks in here I haven't been seeing the new releases, and sometimes they seem like they have more of them the following Tuesday. So we'll see though if they put anything out, or if they have like body cam or any of those ones in here. But we'll see though. Yeah, I just looked in the front of the store and there was nothing new at all there. And like right here, this is the one spot where they kind of change stuff out every so often. But yeah, none of the newer stuff that came out today, like body cam or, you know, the Enter the Fat Dragon, I don't see that one. I wanted to say too, I did when I was on the plane, when I was doing the movie this past weekend, Strix. I also put up a video, if you guys didn't see it, going to a movie trading company. But I did watch A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood on the plane, because I finally got to watch that. I actually really like this a lot. It was totally different than I thought it was going to be, like story-wise and everything, but definitely worth watching though. I definitely will get a copy of this one down the line. I feel like this is one of those ones that if the, you know, Black Friday happens this year, or however they do it, you know, I feel like this would be one that would be probably, you know, part of that deal. Because they, you know, usually like Tuttleston, they have lots and lots of copies of them end up on Black Friday deals. But, you know, other than that though, nothing else in here to show new. I don't see anything else changed out. They did announce, you know, just announced too from Scream Factory, the huge Friday the 13th collection, which has all the movies in it, which I ended up pre-ordering that one, because that's one of those ones I definitely want to get. It's a huge collection of all of them together. It's got a whole bunch of new features and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, Scream Factory just announced that set. I think it was yesterday, so that was very cool. So anyway though, guys, that was all for my, you know, DVD Blu-ray Tuesday shopping video today. Like I always say, if you guys enjoy these shopping videos, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Also though, leave me comments below though, letting me know, you know, what you guys picked up on DVD, Blu-ray, or 4K, if you guys ended up picking up anything today, or if you went to the Criterion sale as well, if you ended up getting anything there. Also, let me know too, anything new that you guys have checked out, any new TV shows that you've been watching, anything that you've been streaming, any new movies you guys watched, anything new on demand, any of that kind of stuff. Let me know in the comments below. Anyway though, you know, people like the drive-through, so, you know, the drive-through video. So now, roll the drive-through footage.
Hi, can I help you?
Hi, so I need to get just a double cheeseburger, plain, please.
Okay.
And then one small fry.
Okay.
And one small onion ring. And then just some sweet and sour sauce.
Sure.
And that was everything.
967. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hi, so I need to just get a burrito with just eggs, potatoes, and cheese. And that was everything. Thank you.
Welcome to Hannah. How can I help you today?
Hi, so I need to get a double order of the string bean chicken breast with fried rice, please.
Is that the white steamer?
So it's gonna, yeah, the fried rice, please.
Okay, so I have steamed rice and fried rice. It's a steamed rice, right?
No, so the fried rice.
Fried rice.
Yeah, so the double string bean chicken with fried rice.
Okay.
And then a medium side order of fried rice.
Okay.
And then a medium size order of the chow mein.
Okay.
And then just 2 orders of the veggie spring rolls.
2 orders, so 4 pieces, right?
That's right.
Okay.
And then 4 sides of the sweet and sour sauce, please.
Okay.
And that was everything.
And would you like to make a small donation to the Ready to Hospital today?
You can just round it up.
Thank you so much, and I'll see you the window.
Okay, thank you. And this one now, you got to put the mask on. They just put these signs back up that says face covering required, so you got to put them back on again. And the first one I got here is from Shout Factory Scream Factory line. This is the brand new collector's edition here of 13 Ghost. This is the 13 Ghost remake. I remember, too, really liking this movie when this one first came out. I had not watched this one in such a long time. This is basically, though, about this, like, this guy who was, like, doing these experiments where he was trying to, like, collect together all these ghosts. And, like, Matthew Lillard's character, he was kind of like, he has the ability to, like, communicate with these ghosts and, like, find out where they are and everything. So he was, like, helping him and everything. But in the very beginning of the movie, the guy ended up dying, and the house and all of his stuff got left to, you know, his I think it's his like nephew, and basically, you know, his nephew, you know, inherits this, and then, you know, his family inherits it, and his daughter is played by Shannon Elizabeth. And it's basically, though, you know, they get this house, and it's like this weird house that's like kind of like a glass house, and there's all this like writing on the glass, and all sorts of weird rooms and everything. And you know, basically, though, they come to find out that the house that they're in, because Matthew Lillard's character is there as well. And, you know, kind of he's there, like, kind of trying to scope out the stuff and see what's going on after the guy passed away that he worked for, because he was still owed money and all this stuff. And basically, though, he comes to discover that this house is full of all these ghosts. And the way you can see it is with these, like, interesting, like, 3D glasses kind of things, like these glasses that they wear to be able to see these ghosts. But essentially, though, they're all trapped in this house with this ghost and stuff. You know, this family's all happy because they were having money problems and inherited this house, you know, and all this money with it. But of course now they're in this haunted house with all these ghosts everywhere, and they're having to deal with what they're going to do, trapped in there. It's a really fun and super, super gory movie. On here, though, it has some brand new interviews on here with Shannon Elizabeth, as well as the producer on here. It has some archival features on here, like a commentary track. It has the Ghost Files, like a feature out in the film, theatrical trailer, so lots and lots of features on this one. It also has the original, you know, artwork as well on this one, you know, for the reversible artwork. The next one here is from Shout Factory as well. This is a movie which stars Jesse Eisenberg and Ed Harris. It's called Resistance. And this is about the, you know, the famous mime, you know, Marceau. Is it Marceau? I believe I'm saying that right. And this is about before he was, like, really known as a mime or anything like that. And this is about him during the time of, you know, the Nazis and everything. And it's basically him joining the resistance, the French resistance, for helping, you know, kids to get away from these Nazis and to, like, basically rescue them, and the whole kind of mission and the whole thing that they're planned. And it's a really, really well-made character piece film. It's very, very sad, though, film. But, like, I thought Jesse Eisenberg did a great job in this movie, because it's a very different kind of role for him, at least from the things that I've seen him do. It's a very, like I said, deep, serious tone. Not like, you know, I always think of him for more like comedies and stuff like that, but this is like a heavy drama with the subject matter, and I thought he did a really good job in this one on here. But like I said, this one here is called Resistance, and it's all just about the whole trying to rescue these kids and help these kids and what's going on and everything. But really, really well done movie here. And the next ones I got here are both from Lionsgate, and the first one is Force of Nature, which stars Emile Hirsch, Kate Bosworth, and Mel Gibson. Now this is set all during this horrific, you know, this is set in Hurricane during this horrific horrific hurricane that is going on. It's like basically in the very beginning stages of the hurricane that is going to, you know, continuously get worse and worse. And it's basically, you know, following Emile Hirsch's character, who is this cop who in the beginning of the movie, you find out, though, you see that he's really depressed and really upset, and you find out more and more about him as it goes along. But essentially, though, he's put on the task of him and his partner to go and basically clear the city and evacuate because of how bad this storm is getting. And they have to go to this one apartment building, and they're kind of like kind of worried about the one partner that he's working with. She's like, oh, what do we do if we can't get people to leave? And there's people who are going to stay behind and they're stubborn and won't leave. And, you know, that kind of stuff always happens. Certain people, if there's like an evacuation, don't want to leave and that kind of stuff. So she's like worried about how they're going to do this and how they're going to get them out. But essentially, though, in the beginning of the movie, though, you see these guys that are going to the bank, and they hold this woman at gunpoint saying, you know, you have to take us to the safety deposit box and get us what we need. And when they go there, there was one thing was there, but there was something else they were trying to find, so she gives them this address. And of course, though, you know, the address is in the building where Emile Hirsch's character has to evacuate. So essentially, though, when he's in there in the middle of trying to get everyone to evacuate, and one of the families in there is Kate Bosworth and Mel Gibson's character, who doesn't want to leave because one reason or another, and they're staying behind. You know, of course, then these criminals there are coming to the, you know, apartment complex to try and find this thing. So then they're all entangled in this whole thing, and Emile Hirsch has to try and figure out how to get them out, why these criminals are there. It's like an intense movie. Like I said, it's set with all these different things happen with the criminals coming, and then this you know, hurricane that is getting worse and worse, and they know they have got to get out. I actually really like this one a lot here. Like I said, this one here is A Force of Nature. The next one is from Lionsgate as well. This is a movie which stars Chad Michael Murray as well as Bruce Willis, and this is called Survive the Night. And this is basically, though, about these two brothers that end up, you know, having this robbery. You know, they end up, you know, but what ends up happening, though, is the one ends up getting shot, and it's one of those situations where, like, well, you know, they took all this money, and they can't go to a hospital, they don't know what they're going to do, and the brother is, like, bleeding terribly, so they basically end up stalking this doctor, you know, played by Chad Michael Murray, and, you know, his father is, you know, played by Bruce Willis, and basically, though, they end up getting, stalked to the house, and then his family ends up getting, you know, held hostage by them. You know, the brothers saying, you know, you have to, you know, help him. And it's basically becomes this whole big thing. And, you know, Bruce Willis's character was once a cop. And it becomes sort of like a situation where he's trying to, you know, help them. And he's like trying to, you know, defend them and help protect his family and everything. So it becomes like this whole big thing. I actually really like this one a lot. Like, I always like Bruce Willis, and it has kind of like a die-hard kind of thing about him having to try and help the family and that kind of stuff. On here, though, this has a making of featurette, as well as a director and cast interviews and a trailer gallery. The next one here is from Warner Brothers. They sent over a free copy of this one to let you guys know this one is available. And this is the complete second season of Castle Rock. Now, this is one, too. If you guys didn't see the first season, I would say it's not, like, 100% essential, because it's kind of like, it has aspects of that one, you know, that, you know, as well. But it's kind of like, a little bit like American Horror Story, a little bit, but, you know, it's set in the same town, as opposed to American Horror Story, which is, like, different stories each time in different areas and everything. This one, though, is a different story, because this is following, you know, basically a young version of Annie Wilkes, you know, who is a character in Misery. And if you guys don't know this show, though, it's not based on anything specifically Stephen King, where it's like a specific book or short story or anything like that. This is basically taking characters, themes, and settings from, you know, all the Stephen King books throughout the years. So, like, the setting is, like, you know, where, because basically all the stuff was always set in, like, a specific area, and, like, you know, I think it's Bangor, Maine, and, like, all these different spots that it was set, but in the same area per se. So you kind of have characters referenced and stuff, but this is following, you know, the Annie Wilkes character, you know, who is played by you know, I believe it's Leslie Chaplin who was playing her, and she did an amazing job. And she did a really good job, too, doing a similar character to how Kathy Bates played it, but also bringing her own take to the character as well. It's basically, though, her character is a nurse who's going around with her daughter, you know, and she has an addiction to pain pills and things. So she's basically going into these hospitals, taking these pills, and she ends up winding up in the Castle Rock town. And then when she's there, though, she ends up getting basically stuck there and starts working for this hospital to get the pills and all this kind of stuff. And then she, you discover more and more about the weirdness that is going on in this town, and it's dealing with like building this kind of flea market thing. And there's also one flea market, and these two brothers are conflicting between each other because the one is building it and the other one has his own flea market. He's like, why are you building another one when we have the one here? You're going to be my competition. So there's all this back and forth, but something is going on the grounds of where this new one is being built. So something bad is starting to happen. It is actually really great season. Like I said, I started watching this one. I still have a little more of this to watch, but really loving this season. On here though, it has a featurette on here. Annie Wilkes, Mother of Sorrow, the fascinating documentary examines the psychology of female serial murders, both fictional and real. So that's one of the ones on here feature-wise. The next one here is from Warner Brothers as well, and this is one that is like, when people ask me like, what is one of your favorite TV shows, or what do you think like that you watch all the time, and this is definitely my top, in my top 10 TV shows of all time. And also the top funniest things I've ever watched in my life, because some things that are comedies, you kind of watch them, you may laugh a little bit. I never laugh at anything like this as much, at anything else ever. And this is from Warner Bros. As well. They also sent a free copy. Just want to let you guys know this is available, but this is Curb Your Enthusiasm, the complete 10th season. And this is like a absolute top recommendation show. But this is one of those shows, though, where you kind of need to see the other seasons. You could still watch it, but the way Larry David works with his show is he always kind of brings back characters you may have seen like once before. And like this whole season deals with the whole story arc as Larry David's character goes into a coffee shop run by Mocha Joe. And the Mocha Joe character was in the Seinfeld reunion episode of the series. I think it was back in like 2009. And Larry David had a big dispute with him because Mocha Joe was like on the set of the Seinfeld reboot as a coffee guy. And he had all these problems with him. And Mocha Joe has a store now. And Larry David wanders in there and he's like complaining about the coffee and in the chair, like the table shakes and everything, and Larry David's saying, oh, and then he has this scone, and the scone is soft, and Larry David's like, oh, the scones are supposed to be dry, the coffee's cold, and Mocha Joe's like, get out of here, Larry, and then he like kicks him out and bans him. So Larry David comes up with the idea of making a spite store, and so he makes a spite store directly next to his. So the whole season is about him kind of getting this together, also about him trying to get back with his wife, and all of his problems with his friends, and his manager played by Jeff Garlin, and all sorts of problems. It's just a really fun show, like an absolute must-watch. On here, though, feature-wise, it has a season 10, What Finally Broke Them, which is basically like a quick little like outtake reel, like with some outtakes from the show. Also has an episode guide on this one, but it's a 2-disc set. But like I said, great show, and I heard, too, that they just greenlit a season 11 of the show, so I'm really glad they're going to keep doing this. The next one here is from Paramount, and this is from the brand new, Paramount Presents line that they recently started, and this is the brand new edition here of Ghost. Now, this is a really sad movie, an absolutely amazing movie, but it is so sad. It's one of those movies, like, to me, like with My Girl, where you, like, cry really bad. I mean, it is such an emotional movie. This is the, and I love the way they design these editions, because they open up like this from the Paramount Presents line, and they have like the original poster artwork inside, and then the case in these clear cases like this. I'll show you guys a look inside as well. It has like like a review, quote for the movie as well. This one also has on here a brand new feature, which is a, filmmaker focus, which is with the, the director talking about the film, and it has the archival features as well, like the commentary with the director, theatrical trailer. But this is basically, though, about, stars Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, and Whoopi Goldberg, and Patrick Swayze's character, is basically getting ready to get married to Demi Moore, and they're like, really have this amazing relationship and everything, and something ends up happening and he ends up getting killed and dies. And this is one of those movies when even when you talk about it, you get really sad, especially because Patrick Swayze's gone. And I was always a huge fan of Patrick Swayze. Like, I always loved him too in other really different kind of roles, like when his role in Donnie Darko. But like I said, a huge fan of Patrick Swayze. I feel like he was like great in everything. But basically, though, he ends up dying, but he's still around. Like, his ghost is there, and like he wants to try and protect his girlfriend, from the person that killed him, and he believes that he's going to come after her. And basically, though, you know, he's there trying to figure out how to communicate with her because he's a ghost. So, like, Whoopi Goldberg's character, she's like a medium, so she kind of plays into that. But if you guys have never seen this movie, definitely 100% watch this movie. It is a great movie, and the famous scene in here too is the scene with making the pottery. But it is a great movie. But just be warned, it is a very, very sad, super emotional movie though. And the next one I got here is from Universal, and this is a movie here called Burden. And this, you know, this is a movie that's set in South Carolina. I believe it takes place in like the late 80s, early 90s. This is all dealing with the Klan during the, you know, the horrible group, the Klan. You know, dealing with them in this group, and it's Tom Wilkinson's character kind of is like the head of the group in this area, and he basically has a guy who works for him, and he's basically helping this kid and helping this young guy for years, and he basically feels like he's indebted to him, and he's kind of in this group with him. And when he becomes higher in the group and everything, and this is something that he doesn't feel like, he doesn't really want to be in this horrible group, but he ends up meeting this one girl, and she basically is saying, I can't believe you're in this horrible group, I don't want you connected to this. And it's also then dealing with Forrest Whitaker's character, who is this preacher, and he kind of wants to help this guy because he kind of comes to him and, you know, is trying to help him. And it's kind of like the people in his church are like, why are you helping this horrible guy? Because of the group that he's with and the connections that he has. And he's trying to get him and kind of get him out of this and figure out how to help him. And he's trying to, like, kind of keep the whole town together and kind of get rid of all this negativity, all this awful stuff that is going on. It is a really well-made character piece. Also, Usher is in the film. He did a really good job. This one has on here a behind-the-scenes featurette on the movie. The next one here is from the Criterion Collection, and this is the film Marriage Story. I'm really glad too to see the Criterion is releasing some of the Netflix movies, because I'm really glad when the Netflix ones get physical releases, because I don't know, they don't always. This, of course, you know, stars, you know, Adam Devine Adam Driver. I'm always saying Adam Devine. I don't know why I'm always saying Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson. This is basically, though, you know, about their, you know, relationship, but instead of it being about, like, them being happy, this is kind of showing some of the happy, but then saying how they're getting divorced. And it's kind of, you know, showing the whole ugly side of divorce, and, you know, pinning sides, and the dealing with their kids, and dealing with all of their kid, and, you know, dealing with all of the stuff that goes along with this, and all the court stuff, and all the back and forth, and kind of trying to turn things on people, and the whole thing like that, and kind of changing, you know, to try and, you know, dealing with the money and all that kind of stuff that comes along with it, and kind of trying to say the wrong things about that person, even though maybe you didn't think that way about them, and all that kind of stuff. It's a really, really well-made character piece about divorce. On here, though, it has a brand new 4K digital transfer of the film. It has on here, though, The Players, a new program featuring interviews with the actors Scarlett Johansson, Adam Driver, Laura Dern, Alan Ada, Julia Haggerty, Ray Liotta, the filmmakers, which has an interview with the producers on this one, as well as it has a making of Marriage Story, a news program featuring behind-the-scenes footage, new interviews on here with the producer, new interviews on here with the composer Randy Newman about the film. I'll show you guys, though, a look inside as well at how it opens up and everything. It has, like, the characters' pictures in here, and even has the notes, the characters' notes that play into the film in here. So that's really cool. And it also has a booklet in here, which has, you know, stuff about the credits, you know, about the cast and all that kind of stuff in here. But a really, really cool release. And like I said, really glad to see more Netflix movies, you know, getting releases from Criterion. And the next one here is from, you know, MPI, you know, a media group, and this is Attraction 2 Invasion. And this one, I can't remember for sure if I saw the first Attraction movie, but this is basically, though, about, like, this alien spaceship, and it's kind of like people that, you know, are kind of like, you know, the one woman had, like, contact with this spaceship, and the spaceship is now back, but, like, from the contact that she had, like, sort of abilities and weird sort of things had happened to her from this. And this is basically, though, you know, she develops, like, powers and certain type of things, like, that are like would be like alien type stuff that she kind of acquired from this. And it's basically though about these aliens, and it kind of has like an Independence Day kind of vibe to this one. It was actually a really well done movie. On here though, it has a promo featurette as well as a trailer. It also has the original Russian language audio as well as a English dub track on this one as well. And the next one I got here is from MPI as well, and this is also an IFC Midnight title. This is a film here called The Other Lamb. This is a really, really interesting movie. It's basically though about this like cult-like community out in the middle of the woods, and it's basically this one guy who's kind of like, he's basically like the worshipped guy, and he's like the head of this group, and it's him and all these women there, and it's basically his wives and his daughters. So he has all these wives, and they all live with him there, and it has like the kind of look of it, of the cult and like the wardrobes and everything, you know, kind of a little bit Midsommar-ish, a little bit, and basically though, like the wives wear one color for the most part, and then the daughters wear another color for the most part, and it's basically though focusing on the one girl who's his daughter in the group, and she's kind of like questioning the whole thing, and she's noticing some weird things going on there, and there's basically strange things are happening, and there's like visions and these creepy visual things that are happening. There's also some really weird stuff. Like I love the way they like design the look of some of these things that they're in, like outside and stuff, because they kind of tied these long like strings around the trees and stuff. It kind of has like Wicker Man kind of vibes as well, like the original Wicker Man. It has that sort of feel to it as well. But essentially though, something kind of comes in and shakes things up in this community, and things like really change, and it goes in these really, really dark places, and it's got like people too, like people that are like, that don't listen to him, that are put in this like weird shack and stuff, and they're all living in these like trailers and stuff on the land. It's a really, really interesting movie here. Like I said, this one here is called The Other Lamb. The next one here is from Dark Force Entertainment, and this movie was like, I love this movie. And like I said, you guys can get this one exclusively from Dark Force Entertainment. I'll have a link below for their website. But this is called Primal Rage. And this is one I had never seen before, and I always love when I see something that I had never seen before, like horror movie wise. And it's every so often, like, it doesn't happen all the time because I watch so many different weird movies throughout the years and everything. So seldom is there one that I've never heard of or anything like that. And this is one like that I had never heard of. And this is from I think it was 1988. And this has a brand new 2020 HD transfer on here. It looks great. But this is basically, though, dealing with this this college campus. They're doing like experiments on these monkeys, and the one guy goes in there to kind of take pictures for the newspaper, trying to do a story about it. And he goes in there and he ends up like the monkey ends up attacking him and then getting loose, and then ends up getting hit by this car and getting killed in this crazy way. They filmed this, but basically though, this monkey was infected with something, so it's basically infecting this guy little by little who was bit, and it's like kind of his friend is trying to figure out what's going on with him and how to fix this. And the guy keeps on changing, and he's going around and like infecting other people. It is a crazy movie. I absolutely love this. I love the music in this movie. Claudio was it Claudio Semente? He did the music in this one, and you know they even used one of the songs that I think they used in the movie Opera as well. I might be wrong, but I know it was used in another movie as well. And I think this was filmed around the same times I was reading as Nightmare Beach, I believe, around the exact same time. So I had some of the same cast in this one. But this movie was great. I highly recommend you guys check this out. The next ones here are from Severin Films, and this is a movie that I always really liked, so really glad this one is getting a physical release now, because it never had one in... only had a DVD years and years back, so finally it's on Blu-ray in the US. This is a Revenge of the Living Dead Girls, and this is like more of like a adults movie, zombie movie. It's basically though about like these infected, these women. Basically they end up like I forget exactly how it goes. Like it was like this tainted milk. This milk ends up getting tainted because like yeah, the milk was tainted because this guy ends up putting something into the milk, is like he's like paid to do it, and it basically kills these women. The one woman that was like getting ready to get married, and they get killed from this, and people that die from this milk, and they come back from the dead, and they're coming after people, and they're people getting killed in really unique ways in this. And it is a really, really fun, crazy movie. I always, like I said, always really liked this movie. It has on here though, it has an interview on here with the special effects artist. It has an interview on here with the director. It also has a theatrical trailer. Picture quality, you know, picture-wise, this one looks great. It also has on here though the English English language version as well as the French language version of this one as well. The next ones, these ones are from like the Mondo titles. I believe this, I don't know if this one was in the Mondo. The other one was though. This one though is The Wild Wild World of Jane Mansfield. And this is basically though about like, it's showing like home video footage that that was shot of Jane Mansfield, like going to like beaches and events and stuff like that, and also talking about her death and kind of how it happened and everything. And there's like a person doing like narration that sounds like Jane Mansfield, like talking about her life and everything. This is a really interesting thing here. This was made in 1968. This is on here though, feature-wise, it has the standard definition master as a special feature. It has an interview on here with the biographer, Anton LaVey, biographer, as well as it has on here The Wild, Weird, Wonderful Italians, which is a 1966 Italian Mondo scan. It's kind of like about like stuff in Italy, showing like events and stuff like that, but in the Mondo series. And the next one here is from Severin Films as well, and this is a Mondo Ballarado, and this is narrated by Boris Karloff. And if you guys don't know the Mondo series of films, they made a whole lot of different films in that series, and there were some that were like, I might have not been associated with it, that were like similar type ones as well. And it was basically though, like shocking, taboo kind of stuff that was never really documented or filmed in any other kind of stuff before, or was never something that you would see like on the general news or things like that. And it was like dealing with like rituals and tribal things and all sorts of strange go-ons, and like has on stuff on here like Neapolitan cigarette smugglers, exorcists, all sorts of stuff, like just really like out there kind of things. And the picture quality though looks great on here, and it also has on here feature-wise, it has a bonus trailer. Also has an Italian Mondo on here from the original 35mm print on here. It's from the Something Weird archives, but a really interesting one here. The next one, and I'll have a link where you guys can go to order this one. This one, you can only order this one from this specific website. This is one that I'm in called Dark Web Mystery Box. And this one is basically, though, about people who are getting sent, weird objects in the mail, and they're doing, like, vlogs talking about them and everything. So my character gets sent this box with, like, a VHS tape. And, of course, he watches it, and it's kind of like the result of what happens from me watching it and everything. And it's kind of like dealing with other people that are getting sent weird objects and weird types of things and stuff like that. But, like I said, I want to let you guys know that this one is available if you guys would be interested in picking up a copy of this one. Like I said, I have a link below where you can order it from the one guy, the producer who's selling the film. The next one here, next ones both are from Gravitas Ventures, and this is a movie here called Hallowed by Thy Name, and this is a really fun one. I watched this one last night, and this is basically, though, about this weird type of, like, in this movie, there's these two kids that, like, stumble upon this cave. They want to go in there, and they're, like, messing around, and they see, like, a shrine of all these objects, like baseball bats and toys and pictures and notes and stuff, and one of the kids goes in there and like picks it up and starts messing with things and throwing it around, and then something grabs them and pulls them away, and they go missing. And this is dealing with like these kids are missing, and then this family, this mother and son that end up moving to the town, of course they go there, and the kid, he ends up like becoming friends with these two kids, and the one girl's like, oh, I really want to go out to this cave because I hear that there's like, if you make a wish in there, your wish will come true. And like she finds out that her mother is sick, so she wants to go out there and wish that her mother will be better. And like, it's basically, though, of course they go out there, and the one character, he ends up taking this bat, and it unleashes whatever's in there coming after them and coming after him, and it becomes like a whole big nightmare of a situation. I really like this one. Like the creature is really cool. And this one snake thing too, this guy, the snake, the way he was standing there with like, with the snake, is like, I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, I love that sequence in here. This is a really fun movie, though. Like I said, this is called Hallowed by Thy Name. This one is a movie that from Gravitas Ventures as well, that was done in like the style of like a documentary, but it's like a, acted, but done documentary style, and it's called Skyman. Skyman, it's basically about this guy who experienced something paranormal, with like an alien encounter when he was younger, and like now he believes that this alien that he encountered all these years before is now coming back to try and communicate with him again. And it's kind of like him kind of talking about what had happened and the weird things that he's hearing, the weird things that he's seeing, why that he thinks this is happening, talking to other people that he knows, and they're saying, oh yeah, he's saying this, and they're kind of thinking that he might be going crazy. And it's kind of just all of what he's going through and everything done, documentary style here. And like I said, this is called Skyman. The next ones here, I have a link below where you guys can order these ones for the best price. And this is also one here, but these are all from moviezing.com. And this is also from the Warner Archive. And this is Paddington Bear, the complete series. And this is a show, I always knew of Paddington Bear, but this particular show and this rendition of Paddington Bear, I totally forgot about it. And when I was watching this and saw the opening, I'm like, I watched this one as a really little kid, because Hanna-Barbera was behind this particular rendition. This was from, like, I don't know when this originally aired, but I remember as like a little kid, I must have rented like a VHS tape of this from Blockbuster or something like that. But this is basically the story of Paddington Bear, you know, and it's kind of like about how he like is at this train station, the family that finds him, and when he comes and lives with them, and it's kind of all the adventures and stuff that he goes on with the family and the problems, and he's messing up the house and all sorts of stuff. But it is a really fun show. It was cool to watch this one again, because I had not seen this one in, I don't know, like over 25 years or something, like 26 years. So it was really fun to see this one again. These ones are all from Moviezing as well, but these are also from, Dark Side Releasing. This one is called the Millennial Killer, and this one is, directed by Sam Mason Bell, who has, been behind some of the projects that I've worked on. So I've done some stuff with him that he was like producing on and everything. This is called the Millennial Killer. This is also from the British collection, and this is basically though about this, this people that are kind of coming in to look at this particular house to rent, and the guy is like kind of like this weird guy, and he doesn't like younger generations and younger people, and he basically like lures people into this place, and then he's like going and like kidnapping them and torturing them, anyone that kind of comes in. So he uses this place to get people in, to get his victims and everything. So it is a crazy situation. He's basically though using his place to lure in his victims, and then kind of like torturing them, and they're trying to figure out how to get away, and it becomes like a whole big nightmare. But it's a really, really crazy movie. Like I said, this is the Millennial Killer. The other one here, which is from the Dark Side Releasing line as well, and it's also from Moviezing, is Take Back the Knife. And this is basically, though, about a group of these girls who are all going out for like a trip out into the woods. And it's kind of like, but they already, you hear them talk about, too, did you have the weapons? You have these things with them. So, like, when you hear that in the very beginning, you're like, well, why do they have these weapons? What is going on exactly here? And basically, though, there's somebody out in the woods. It's like someone is, coming after them. But it's like this person doesn't know that these girls have weapons. And these girls, can defend themselves. So basically, it becomes like, what is going on and everything with them. But I actually really like this one. I thought that the main actresses and all the actresses did a great job in here, and there was some like crazy stuff that are happening in this. I honestly though really like this movie. This one has on here though a commentary track on here, as well as behind the scenes and bloopers on this one. This one here is a movie that I think was like made in 2011, and then it like added some new stuff to it. And it's basically though about, it's called Stab, Kill, Die. And it's basically though about like a group of these it's kind of like these like cheerleaders that were kind of kind of going after and like killing people, like trying to lure men in and then killing them, and they're like cannibals and stuff like that. And like I said, it takes clips from like an older film and kind of like newer footage I think that was just shot to kind of combine it all together. But it's all done like grindhouse kind of style, so it has like a grindhouse kind of feel to it. And like I said, this is called Stab, Kill, Die. This one here is one I was really interested in seeing because it has William Sadler in here as well as Courtney Gaines. It's called Deadly Crush. It's about a woman who ends up going and like staying out in this cabin out in the middle of the woods, but this place is like haunted by this crazed like serial killer guy in there, and like William Sadler's character is trying to like, he knows what's kind of going on there. Same with Courtney Gaines, they're trying to figure out how to stop this entity, and like basically though the woman though kind of comes to fall in love with this guy, so it's kind of like this weird sort of like relationship thing with her and this like spirit and all this kind of stuff. It is a really crazy concept and everything, but I actually like this one a lot. It's kind of just like a ghost story, love story, but with this bad guy and everything. It's a very interesting movie here. And this one has a behind-the-scenes documentary about the movie on this one. This one is also from Dark Side Releasing, and it's from moviezing.com is where you can order it. And this is Motocross Maniacs. This is another one that has like a grindhouse, like 70s kind of vibe to this one. And it's basically though about a group of these like a biker gang going around. There was like a movie in like this like called like Psychomania or something like that in like the 60s. It just kind of had a vibe of a little bit, but this is called Motocross Maniacs, and they're basically though going around terrorizing this town, causing all kinds of problems and like messing around and all sorts of problems. And it's basically though about like the sheriff who's trying to figure out how to, the Texas Ranger is trying to figure out how to stop them, and it's just all sorts of kind of craziness and mayhem that this biker gang is going and causing all around. This has on here though a commentary track on here as well as interviews. The next ones here are all from Wild Eye Releasing, and this is a fun shark movie. I always love like shark films. This is Jurassic Shark. This is basically though about these girls that are like stranded on this this island, and there's like a huge killer, like I think it's megalodon shark on there, but it's also these other people who are on the island that are like these bad guys, and they all have to kind of work together to figure out how they're going to get off this island with this giant shark, because anytime they get in the water, the shark comes after them. And it's a really fun, like I said, I always love these huge killer shark movies here. This one is directed by Brett Kelly. The other one here is Head Case Home Movies of a Serial Killer. This is from Wild Eye Releasing as well. And this is kind of like done like Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer kind of vibe. And this is kind of this is also the brand new 2020 director supervised edit of the film. And this is basically though like home video, like edited together home videos of these serial killers and kind of like what they were doing. Like I said, it has that Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer vibe, because in that they bought the camera and were filming their murders and all that kind of stuff. And it just has that kind of vibe to this one. But on here though, special feature wise, this has a making of documentary, deleted scenes and trailers. The next one here is from Wild Eye Releasing as well, and this is one like a found footage movie called The Last 5 Days. This is basically though about these guys who are doing this class assignment about like this killer and like a serial killer type thing, about these murders and everything. Of course though, when they go and look into this thing, they realize this is not a good idea, and it's basically them kind of dealing with like something they feel as if like something is watching them and kind of making them crazy and everything. It's like I said, anytime you do that stuff, when you mess around looking into certain things, it always ends up not going well. It's not going well for these guys. On here though, this has a director's commentary as well as trailers on this one. And the next one here is from Ultra Innocence, and it's a movie here called Starfish. This one here is the Deluxe Edition Blu-ray, which has nearly 3 hours of bonus features as well as a bonus soundtrack to the movie. But feature-wise on here, this has a whole bunch of stuff. It has 2 commentary tracks, a making of, deleted scenes, music video. It has on here 2 Q&As from the Alamo Draft House. It has on here, though, a test sizzle reel for the film, director's introduction, festival teaser trailer, Blu-ray trailer, reversible artwork on here. Basically, though, this movie is about this girl whose friend had passed away, and, like, it's like one of her best friends, and basically she though ends up sneaking into her house, and she discovers these like cassette tapes with like stuff on them with like directions and saying things to her and everything. And it's kind of set during the same time where right when this happens, all of a sudden when she breaks in the house, she like goes outside and everyone is like vanished. It's like, where is everybody? And it's kind of like she feels like these tapes may be like what can save the world for whatever is going happened and everything. It's a really, really interesting, well-made film. Like, it has like it's a real slow burn, but really great character piece dealing with like death, and then at the same time all these things going on in the world and trying to figure out exactly what's happening, and like a Last Man on Earth kind of feel thing going on. But like a really interesting movie here. Like I said, this one here is called Starfish. And the last 2 ones here are ones I want to let you guys know are available from Eureka Entertainment. Now these ones, keep in mind, are both Region B locked, so you guys would have to have an all-region Blu-ray player to play them. But this is a movie here called Criss Cross, which stars Burt Lancaster, Lavanya DeCarlo, of course, from the Munsters, and Dan Dorea. Like I said, this is called Criss Cross. This one has on here, though, the brand new 4K digital restoration scan on this one. This has a commentary with film author Lee Gabin and actress Ruth Alba, as well as a commentary with film scholar Adrian Martin, a director's Playhouse radio adaptation from 1949 featuring Burt Lancaster, isolated music and effects track, theatrical trailer. Also has a booklet in here which has some, you know, stills from the movie, stuff about the production, all that kind of stuff as well in this release. And the last one from Eureka Entertainment as well is a movie here called A Foreign Affair, which is directed by Billy Wilder, you know, who, of course, he did Something Like It Hot and a whole bunch of different films. Something Like It Hot, that was my personal favorite of his films. This is, but this one has on here, though, feature-wise, it has a commentary track on here with the story, film historian Joseph McBride, From Berlin to Hollywood, you know, a video essay by Kat Ellinger, 2 radio adaptation of A Foreign Affair on here from 1949 and 1951. It also has on here, and Lucille Ball was in one of those ones. It also has an archival interview with Billy Wilder, a theatrical trailer, as well as a booklet in here with some, you know, stills from the movie, stuff about the production, all that kind of stuff as well. Like I said, one of you guys know that these ones were available from Eureka Entertainment. Anyway, though, guys, that was all for the review portion of this video. Thanks again for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later.